Hi, Professor Keeley here. So my last video on Michaela, and this is also advice that if I were talking to Michaela, which I'm sure she's talking to anybody anyway, but it just, like I said, it broke my heart to see somebody so upset. And the advice I'd give her is, it's not necessarily sometimes about you being aesthetically pleasing. It's, again, knowing your angle. So if you're going to look for your angle, there's a couple different types of angles that you should think about. And I always tell people to do two things. One, take photos of yourself from all the various angles, go and figure out what you personally like, but then also find people that you trust to give you an honest opinion and have them look at it, and or find a professional who can look at it and give you their opinion. Because again, what you may think is good, looks good, may not aesthetically look good to somebody else. So you kind of want to do a little market research. This is I teach marketing, and that's what market research is going out and asking other people their opinion, and then starting to condense all that information into what looks good. So let's go through the look. So again, take a picture from you head on. The other thing to consider is your light source. So this is what's called pancake lighting. Pancake lighting is the most forgiving lighting, because if you're talking about putting your light source to the side, then if you have acne, that's going to show up because it creates a little shadow around the acne. The same thing for wrinkles. So the most forgiving light is going to be head-on light, where it flattens out everything. So start center and then slightly drop. And photograph from all angle. Now don't get too far down because that can look creepy, and don't go too far up because that can look creepy too. So then start back to the center and go. And get them from all angles. The next thing I would do is go to the side and photograph. Watch your eye here, because you don't want that to go like weird, because people can see half your eye, half you're not. So again, keeping your face level, and then go back the other way. Then what I would do is tilt your head down a little bit. So if your face looks good that way, then pivot this way. Or tilt your chin up and pivot that way. And then also take from down looking up, like really far down, so that your face looks more like this. Also get some shots where you're not looking, so that you're looking down in a way like this, getting it from this angle and then from this angle. The other one is the over the shoulder shot, where you really spin yourself around, but make sure you square your shoulders. And they always tell you to hang on to something and pull yourself around like this, so that your shoulders are always square, and then test it that way. See how you look. Okay. And then the last one I would say to consider is another lighting form, which is called Rembrandt lighting. And I put a picture of it here, where you create a triangle underneath your eye because your light source is at a 45-degree angle to your face. So basically what happens is the light comes across your nose and creates a shadow on the other side. The painter Rembrandt was famous for doing that technique. And it's a very softening, sophisticated look. So again, all these techniques are great if you're doing a LinkedIn profile, any kind of profile, a dating app profile. But also, again, your LinkedIn head and shoulder shots, you can definitely do those yourself. So again, the suggestion I make is do all of that, but then take your photos to trusted friends and or a professional and get their opinion, because you're going to have what you like, but that may not be your best, what you think may not actually be best. So you want to do what we call in marketing called market research, where you take it out and you let other people give you their opinion on which one they like best. Now you're going to have some immediately that you don't need to show them because they just look bad, but at least you're taking the ones that you give them a selection, the ones that you like, and then take them out for feedback, and you're going to get their opinion. So again, the more you practice with just these little small minute changes in the camera to find where your angle is, because for example, like here's how I look, but I don't look good like that. And that's the side that Sandy helped me figure out is not my good side, my right side. But my left side, if I go from the side here and I tilt it sideways like this, see, looks completely different. Now also, the same thing goes for what's on camera, but it also goes what's in person, because your aesthetic eye is different than on the camera. So do the same thing with people that you see. Try to figure out what looks good for you when you're standing there looking at somebody, and have your friends tell you, do I look better like this in person? Do I look better like this in person? So again, that you're taking control of your image and hopefully that makes you feel better. And Michaela, that would be my advice, is to spend a little time trying to figure out where your best angle is. And I know you have if you've done your side profile. And if side profile is not great, we're all not perfect. Have a great day.